say is one of the big advantages, and maybe some of the stuff that causes more stress with like a smaller budget movie that with like a very exacting schedule?
Well, the thing about doing a smaller budget movie is there's just no net underneath you. If you have a big budget, you have 100 days to shoot, you don't get one day, it's okay, you come back tomorrow. But I've done 2 genre movies in the last year and had a great time doing both. Sinister.
Before the Stevensons moved here, they lived where the Miller family murders happened. Holy shit.
And The Purge.
Tonight allows people a release for all the hatred and violence and aggression that they keep up inside them.
And what's fun about them is we get complete creative freedom, but we don't get much money to make them.
You can't go to a studio and ask for a 7-figure fee and then say, and I promise the movie's gonna be good.
And so if it turns out good, hey, somebody will buy it and they'll release it all over the country. If it turns out bad, no, you'll never hear of it. You know, because there wasn't such a huge investment. If you make a bad $100 million movie, everybody's still gonna hear about it.
So a lot of good things come out of it, but the biggest one is that you get, then your words have weight because whoever, whether it's a studio or someone else is financing the movie, they know that you're not gonna get compensated unless what you're making is good. So they tend to kind of let you do what you want to do, which is a great, really fun way to make movies.
You and Ethan have known each other for a while?
We've known each other for more than 20 years, believe it or not.
And is this your first collaboration? Have you guys worked together before?
We had a theater company together a long time ago in New York called Malapart. And then about 13 years ago, we did Hamlet together, that Michael Almereyda directed, and he played Hamlet, we did for Miramax. And then ever since doing Paranormal Activity, I've been doing these, low budget, wide release movies, hopefully wide release. They don't always go wide, but hopefully. And I've been trying to, most of them are horror movies, and I've been trying to talk him into doing one, and he finally acquiesced on Sinister. So we did Sinister together, and we had a great time on that, and towards the end of the movie, he said, I'd love to, we should find another one. And he and I both knew James independently. He actually had worked with James on a movie that James wrote. And so I gave him this script, and 6 months after we finished shooting Sinister, we were shooting The Purge. It was very cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
It's a nice little rhythm to it all,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. We have big plans for a 5-box set, of which we've done 2, so we got 3 more to do.
love the ambition. It's awesome.
My whole life I've preferred working in independent cinema. I love a good studio film. It's just, there aren't that many of them made each year, and there's so many wonderful people making them. There's so many great actors and so many great, that I've kind of enjoyed finding an alternate route my whole career. You make a romance like Before Midnight, and it's a very kind of gentle surroundings. We spent the summer in Greece by the ocean, talking about relationships, In The Purge, one of the fun things about making movies that are terrifying is how much everybody laughs, It's a lot of fun. It's kind of charged with just almost a Clockwork Orange-like weirdness. And so that was fun. It was just fun to talk about.
Now, if there's a person, place, thing that was your sort of initial inspiration to get into the business and to tackle it, and has that changed over time?
It's definitely changed over time. When I was much younger and still like Selznick and the great, producer, studio chiefs of early Hollywood of the 30s and 40s were people that I looked at a lot and read about a lot. I studied Hitchcock a lot in college, and I didn't start making genre movies until about 5 or 6 years ago, but I had studied them a long time ago, so obviously I took something from it. So I would say on the creative side, Hitchcock, and on the business side, we'll go with Selznick.
Now, if you were talking to a young artist, writer, actor, director type, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, and I say this a lot, I sound like a broken record with this, but I think that when young people make a mistake, to wait for the system to validate them. I think technology is at a point now where it's so cheap to shoot anything, and it doesn't matter what you shoot, or you shoot on your phone or whatever, and put it on the internet, and keep trying. Make a movie for nothing, put it up, see if anything, and then make another, and make another, and make another. The more you make, the better you'll get. That would be my advice, is to get out there and make stuff.